Welcome, everyone, to our Wednesday devotional. We are glad that you are with us. We're going to open our Bibles tonight, and we are going to be in Hebrews chapter number 9, John chapter number 10, and Philippians chapter 1. But don't worry, it's not a full-fledged sermon, but we are going to look at three verses tonight for a message that hopefully will be encouraging to you. We're going to compare and contrast two ideas tonight. Okay, the first one is appointed death, and then the second is abundant life. Appointed death and abundant life. All right, that might sound a little creepy up front, but definitely abundant life sounds a whole lot better than appointed death. But the first two verses, all right, Hebrews chapter 9, verse number 27. And as it is appointed for men to die once, but after this, the judgment. So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. To those who eagerly wait for him, he will appear a second time, apart from sin, for salvation. Everyone is going to die. Again, that sounds creepy. There's nothing exciting about that on the surface. And unless, of course, Jesus comes back again prior to us taking our last breath, it says right here that it is appointed for men to die once. I was doing some reading, and one writer wrote that death is inescapable. We are dying, in a sense, currently, progressively. We are dying, and we will die terminally. Now, one person put it this way. Today, we don't know when we're going to die, but today we are one day closer to our death than yesterday. I don't know. I don't get warm and fuzzy feelings thinking about that. And I will tell you, there's, when we allow our minds to wander, and if we're not filled with faith, death can be a very scary thing to think about. And it's a very difficult thing for us to experience when a loved one passes. And then as we contemplate the frailty of our own life, that when the inspired writer says it is appointed once for man to die, that includes you. And that includes me. And so there is appointed death for everyone. Now, look at John chapter number 10. And in verse number 10, this is the words of Christ. And we know that Jesus is our good shepherd. We are our sheep. And he says in John 10, verse number 10, the thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. I don't know about you, but I get a whole lot more excited thinking about abundant life than I do appointed death. And when I think about Jesus as our good shepherd, and I think about life, eternal life, and I think about abundant life, that's something to get excited about. That is something to look forward to. That is something to sing about. It's something to dream about. It's something to certainly look forward to. And so as we think about and as we compare and contrast the reality of death and the reality of life, where is our focus? What is it that is driving us? Do we live each day in fear that one day we might die? Or do we live each day in faith, knowing that we have an abundant life? Where is our focus? What is it that is motivating us? What is it that is guiding us? The Apostle Paul in Philippians chapter 1, he is thinking about life. He's thinking about death, and you can sense that he's in a quandary. He's in a dilemma. He realizes that there is the appointed death, and he also realizes that there is abundant life, and he's trying to think about, I'm sure, what is best for him, but also he's thinking about what is best for others. I'm in Philippians chapter number 1. We're going to pick up in verse number 23. Philippians 1, verse 23 and 24. For I am hard pressed between the two, having a desire to depart and be with Christ, which is far better. Nevertheless, to remain in the flesh is more needful for you. Paul wanted to go to heaven, but he also wanted to live. And he was ready to go at any time, but he realized that there was the opportunity to impact and influence others. There was yesterday marked the 1 year anniversary of the passing of Miss Jimmy Crenshaw. And those of you that are on Facebook saw I made a little write-up yesterday and thinking about some memories and shared a couple of pictures, and she was always my number one fan, even before that was the popular thing to do. And Miss Jimmy, I remember the last time visiting her. She was over at the old folks' home in Metairie, and she still had her mind. She still had her hearing. She had all of those senses, but her body was wearing down, and I could tell that obviously she was worn out, and she was tired, but she. I remember us talking about how she was ready to go, and what an awesome expression of faith that in understanding the appointment of death, the reality of death, allowing faith to guide us instead of fear. Allowing faith to guide us instead of fear. You see, for the faithful Christian, for the faithful Christian, death is a homecoming. Death is, as one writer wrote, simply a blessed transition from an earthly life of imperfection and incompletion to one of perfection and eternal joy. Let me say that again. Death is simply a blessed transition from an earthly life of imperfection and incompletion to one of perfection and eternal joy. And so we have eternal life. We have heaven to look forward to, that place of perfection, that place of eternal joy. And so as we wind down this evening, as we're trying to make sense of our appointed death, but also abundant life, essentially we have a choice to make. Are we going to live our lives in fear of death? Or are we going to live our lives in faith, looking forward to eternal life? Now, here's the thing about the abundant life. The abundant life is not just involving heaven. Now, heaven, that's going to be awesome, and that's going to be perfect, and that's all. But we don't have to wait till we get to heaven for us to start enjoying life abundantly now. We don't have to wait till heaven to start experiencing joy. But because we have an abundant life, we can experience joy now in the present. What a wonderful, awesome blessing it is to be a Christian. Because as a Christian, we don't have to worry about anything. God has taken care of our past. He is taking care of our present. And He is taking care of our future, including that moment that we take our final breath. We have the opportunity then to be in the presence of the Lord forever. Do you remember what Jesus told that thief on the cross? Today you will be with me in paradise. And paradise is that is a part of that realm that our spirits go to after we die, and we are there with the Lord and in the presence of the Lord. And then after, once the judgment day arrives, that final call of the faithful and the unfaithful, and then we're in heaven forever. We don't have to worry about any moment of our lives before our death. And we don't have to worry about any moment of our lives after our death. Yes, we are all appointed once to die, but we don't approach that in fear. We approach it in faith. And until that moment arrives, when we take our final breath, we're going to live our lives, and we're going to do so abundantly, knowing that God has blessed us, knowing that we have the opportunity, yes, one day to be in heaven, but we also have the opportunity now to live and try to be a blessing to as many people as possible while we still have the opportunity to do so. I hope and I pray that each of us will live a life motivated by faith, not fear, and that we will take each moment that God has given us to glorify Him and then try to lead as many other people to Christ as well. I hope this message has been helpful to you. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time.